The 5th seed in Europe for the Winter Major is claimed by none other than Evil Geniuses, a team that took 6th in Europe during the fall split. So let's take a look at how they managed to turn a 6th place finish, bump themselves up one spot, and qualify for the Major. So in the first event of the fall split, they make playoffs and they lose in the first round of BDS, which is a tough opponent to draw. And then in Regional 2, they lose to the Flying Dutchman, who would then become Heroic. They played a lot better in the fall split, by the way. They would lose to them in the final round of Swiss, not making playoffs. So it all rides on Regional 3, where they lose in the first round of playoffs. All they needed to do was outplace Vitality in that event, and they would have qualified for the Major, but they did not. So heading into the Winter Split, they needed to step it up a notch, and they start off with a dud in Regional 1, taking a 9th through 12th, losing to Vitality in the first round of playoffs. Not a great start from them, but then in Regional 2, they turn it up. They take their group, they take a top 6 guaranteed, they sweep Misfits in the first round of playoffs, and they secure a top 3. Heading into Regional 3, Evil Geniuses had still not locked up their major spot, and then their final step to qualifying for the Winter Major essentially was against Luminosity, and they beat them in Game 7 to qualify for the Winter Major. Ultimately, this team does lose to Team Queso in the lower semifinals in a best of 7, but everyone's losing to Queso. So let's take a look at the stats. So we have Ivan. His stats are slightly up, just ever so slightly. He's taking less shots per game, so he's putting less pressure. That means his shot percentage has gone up. His goals have hardly changed, but overall it looks like Ivan's playing a more consistent game, a more concise game, and he's upped his assist count a little bit there. Ivan seems to just play, all around the pitch pretty well. Not really a standout stud in any way, shape, or form, but that's kind of what this Evil Geniuses roster is 3 players that fit each mold well enough to play good together as a team. They were just on the outside looking in during the fall split, so to me, seeing consistent stats across the board here makes me think that they didn't necessarily feel like they needed to make a change in play style. They just needed to stay a little bit more consistent, and that's what the stats kind of show here. Now taking a look at Rizex. Rizex, again, nothing drastic here. His goals are up slightly, but not enough to be like, whoa, Rizex really popped off. Again, it's all about consistency for this Evil Geniuses team. Rizex, he's a great player. It's exciting to see him on LAN after so long. He's been in the league for quite a while here. Like, he played all of RLCSX and had so many things happen to him where he got dropped from teams, got replaced from teams. Now he's finally sticking on a roster, and Evil Geniuses, I'm sure they're happy to have him because he helped them qualify for LAN. Now we're taking a look at Catalysm, the best performing statistical player on this team by rating. He is down a little bit in the stat department in terms of goals, but his assists have gone up, which means Ivan and Rizex are contributing more a little bit to the offense. If you're trying to guess who would pop off the most at LAN for this team for Evil Geniuses, it's definitely got to be Catalysm. He's got the best mechanics on the team hands down, and I'd say he is going to score some of the crazier goals for this team on LAN. So just watch out for him because he's nuts. Again, these stats going down, they're such slim margins that it just goes to show that Evil Geniuses probably should have been that 5th team at the fall major. They just didn't have enough ice. But this time, they're feeling pretty chilly in the winter split. They had enough ice. They qualify. Now, realistic expectations for this team, they are in Group C with BDS, G2, and Team Secret. I talked about Team Secret in my last Team Spotlight. If you have not seen it, please go check it out. I do have this team beating Team Secret in the groups, so that means I have them qualifying for playoffs, but I do have them losing to Endpoint, I believe, in the first round of the playoffs, and them taking 9 through 12. If this team does fit well together on LAN and play like a consistent and concise game where they don't allow very many goals, they score on good counterattacks, I could see this team taking a 7th through 8th, maybe even a 5th through 6th, but it would take a lot for me. It would take someone popping off, like Catalysm, popping off in an offensive way for them to be able to push past those teams that they would be playing in those lower rounds of playoffs. But that's Evil Geniuses. They're not very sexy on paper, but at the end of the day, they get the job done. I'm excited to see them play on LAN. It's nice to have new, refreshing. It's nice to have new players and new teams represent different regions. So seeing Evil Geniuses here, it's really great. Long time coming for them. With that all being said, I'm gonna get out of here. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.